And for a long time, and even now, every so often, I have a dream that that I didn't finish. That I realize that I've got a test to take, I've got an exam, and I haven't prepared for it, and I'm in class and I've missed the entire semester, and how could I have been such an idiot to absolutely miss the fact I've got a test coming up, and I don't even know what to do, and I wake up like in a sweat. And I read a book a few years ago called If I'm Such a Success, Why Do I Feel Like Such a Failure? And it's about the imposter complex. And it is about you do well, but you have all of this fear that all you did was fake everybody out and it was all luck. Okay, you're supposed to be a broke kid from Route 2 Brown Ridge Road, Covington, Georgia. Okay, that's who you are. You're not, anything. And so in life, to win, we're all a basket of insecurities and fears. And you've got to face those fears and go. People say you got to eliminate your fears. That's bullcrap. You'll never eliminate them. They will always be there at 3 o'clock in the morning when you wake up and can't go back to sleep. Your fears will always be there. But you've got to face them and manage them and harness them. Turn your fears into fuel that drive you. Turn your fears into what moves you forward, not the boat anchors in life. Most people reach a point where their fears and their frustrations become like a blanket for them. The reason I'm not winning is, I'm just me. Okay? And in life, you got to harness your fears. And you've got to do what you fear most. You've got to walk into the storm. You got to do what you don't know if you're good enough to do. Or you just got to be comfortable being broke. In truth, most people in life just become comfortable being broke. Okay? They blame everybody else for it. It's somebody else's fault. It's the system's fault. It's my mama and daddy's fault. It's my idiot husband's fault. It's somebody's fault. And the reality is, here's the cold-blooded truth. Life ain't fair. Okay, if you're looking for fair, I think hopefully, from what I read in the Bible, that comes later. Okay, it don't come here. Fair don't exist here. Okay, Citigroup collapsing on our head, that wasn't fair. Things that happen ain't fair. But what you got to do is you got to become a force of nature that is not going to just sit and have your personal pity party, that is going to go be the change agent in your life and go win. You got to work hard on who controls the keys to your brain. Okay, that is an absolute fact. Okay, life goes by fast. Okay, life moves quickly on us. Okay, life's a journey. You might as well be the pilot. Okay, you don't need to just sit in the back seat and complain about where your life's going. You got to choose that you're going to be the person that's going to captain the ship. Okay, you got one shot at it. Okay, there ain't another you in the world. One of the things, my biggest advice to you, is you need to come to events like this. You need to fill your brain with successful thinking. You need to read things that build you up, not tear you down. You need to watch things that build you up, not tear you down. But as you look at all these people, too many people spend their whole lives trying to be somebody else. They'll see somebody and go, I want to be like them. Bullcrap, you don't want to be like them. You're not them. They're them. Okay? You got to be the best you can be. It means learning from other people, but try as you might, you're never going to be Mike Sharp. There's one Mike Sharp. You're never going to be David Landrum. There's one David Landrum. You're never going to be Mike Landrum. There's one of them. You got to be the best you can be. And that means every single day working on yourself. You are either green and growing or ripe and ripe. Okay, honestly, one of the things I've learned about life is age. A lot of people, I know people that in their, when we were in our 30s, were old. I mean, they were already old. Their thinking was old. They acted old. They acted like life had passed them by. And then I know people that however long they live, they're never old. My mom passed away suddenly when she was 80 years old. And I told somebody, I said, a gift I have is I never remember my mama old. Okay? I never remember her old. She was always excited about what she was doing next up until the day she wasn't doing anything next. Bob Safford, one of the great leaders in our company and whatever. I mean, Bob, who passed away incredibly suddenly a couple of years ago. Always seemed so healthy, so vibrant. And then, one day he woke up with a headache and, it turned out to be something else, okay? And he was just gone. But Bob was never old. I told Tom Safford when I spoke at Bob's funeral for him, I said, Tom, I know this is hard, but one of the great things, you'll never remember your dad is old. He was Bob. I mean, he was coming to the home office the next week. He would call me once a year. He'd go, John, I need you to get your calendar. I need 3 hours of your uninterrupted time. 3 hours, uninterrupted time, no phone, no anything. I've got a list, okay? And so he would come down and go through his list or whatever. And I mean, it was every year I did that with Bob, okay? I was scheduled to do it the week after, he passed away. He was never old. Chronologically, he was older than a lot, but he was never old. That is a choice you make. How do you think? Are you moving forward or dwelling in the past? And what I can tell you, let me tell you when you're old. The day you're talking about more what the hell you did instead of what you're gonna do, that's the day you're old. My 10-year high school reunion years ago, when I was 28 years old, I mean, there were guys I played ball with who were talking about their highlight of their life was a football game when they were 17 years old. Everything after that was downhill. Okay, so they were old at 28. Okay, God, I'd hate to see them now. Okay, but I mean, they were old at 28. It is your choice to get up and constantly be thinking about where you're going, not where you've been. That doesn't mean don't learn from stupid stuff you did in the past, okay? You need to constantly learn from things and get better, but you've got to be a forward-looking thing. One day Art Williams asked me, what did I see as the biggest challenge the company had, okay? And so he and I were talking or whatever and stuff. And one of the things I always have to remember when I talk to Art is that Art ran the company for 13 years. When he left, he was 48 years old. There wasn't nobody over 50. Okay, Bob was over 50 and Jenny was over 50. Okay? But I mean, it was young. He was 13 years old. And, and so he was trying, I don't know what answer he was getting. I said, Art, I think the biggest challenge we got is we're 35 years old. Okay, and I said, when you get 35 years old, unfortunately, leaders spend as much time talking about, or more time talking about what happened instead of what's going to happen. They spend more time talking about what was instead of what will be. That if you took our business model, our products, our advantages, no one has what we have. The question is, are we going to have energetic, excited, forward-thinking enough leadership to chart the course and to go forward versus to become comfortable with what is? And so in life, we all have choices to make. We have choices to make on how we think, what we do, how big a price we're willing to pay, who we surround ourselves with, and whether we're focused on the future. I mean, I'm telling you, those aren't theories, those are facts. Life will give you what you fight for. It won't give you what you want. Okay? I mean, it doesn't. Life is not fair. What you want, and nobody want. You go find a guy or a gal under a bridge in a box, and they want financial success. They don't want to be in a box. Okay, but life is not going to give you what you want. Life will begrudgingly give you what you'll fight for. It's tough. It's hard. You know, when we were trying to get the company free in public, and I knew I was playing on a tightrope. I knew there were thousands of lives counting on me, and if I made a stupid move, everybody would view me as the biggest dum-dum that ever. I mean, thank you for screwing everything up, idiot. There'd be a big idiot plaque up and stuff. You knew you were playing without a net. And that failure was not an option. Your friends were counting on you. I had notes to myself. I had pictures in my notebook, pictures from the $100,000 earner book of people I knew and people that I loved and families that I loved. And I knew they were counting on me to deliver, to get it done, to not let it would have been easy to go, my God, the economy's so bad, things are so bad. I mean, you know, you can't make this happen. It won't work. But I have learned that when you set your mind and failure isn't an option, people say they've set their mind. They say, I'm going to get it done. And that means I'm going to get it done till it gets hard, and then I'm getting the hell out. Okay? Honestly, this is John preaching to y'all or whatever. One of the things that worries me, forget Primerica, worries me about our country. We become a country of quitters. We become a country of quitters. When things are tough, people quit. Point fingers, blame everybody else. It's this guy's or it's that guy's or this person caused myself. We have become people quit on their marriages, quit their jobs, people quit. And as I see, my dad just turned 88, World War II veteran. Okay, and he wears a shirt that I got him made, golf shirt that U.S. Navy World War II Philippines or whatever on his shirt. He's got a hat that's got his fighter squadron in it and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, you ought to, I mean, when somebody comes up and just goes, I mean, because we'll be places and people will just come up and shake his hand and go, I just want to thank you for what you did and all that. I mean, he was a child of they were children of the Depression. Okay, we had a bad recession. Okay, I mean, there were people camped out in Central Park. Unemployment was 25%. Okay, they were children of the Depression and fought the greatest war ever against the Nazis. Okay, I mean, against the most evil people ever. And they won. And then they changed our economy for 50 years with what they did. I honestly today would hate to see us face a threat like that. We'd piss and moan and whine and complain. And I'm serious. I mean, we would complain and whine and go, somebody else needs to worry about that, not us. I mean, life's hard. But when we got up this morning, your feet hit the ground and you were moving. Any day on the right side of the grass is a good day. Okay, I mean, get up and, I mean, choose to fight. I mean, Lord, I mean, when people have sacrifices, I mean, you go look at history and read history and see the sacrifices some people made so that we have the opportunities that we all have. So if you ask me, January 2014, John, what does Primerica need to get better at? We need to get tougher. And I mean, that's top down. I don't mean just the new people or whatever. We need to get tougher. And we need to go prevail. We are something great happening in this country. We're not something good happening in this country. We are something great happening in this country. We are special. We deliver. We pay $1 billion plus in death claims a year. We, change people's lives with what we do. We're not an okay company. We're a great company. And we need to prevail. We need to win. And what does that mean? That means you winning. And that means you helping other people win. And building a team. And building financially independent families. I mean, we got a crisis in this country. Besides my crisis of quitters, I hate politicians. I hate them with every ounce. And I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about both sides. I mean, all they do is lie and take your money. Okay? I run a company now, a big financial services company, and I spend way too much time in Washington, D.C. with Democrats and Republicans trying to get our stuff done. And the first thing they want to know is they lean over to the radio and go, how much of a check did they give us? Oh, Mr. Addison, it's so good to see. I mean, honestly, when you go to what you feel like you need a shower. Okay? When you go up there and you get in the middle of that crap and all that kind of stuff, if we think, I don't care who you are, I don't care what your political views are, on what side of the aisle, I don't care. If you think they're gonna fix anything, you are gonna be a permanently disappointed human being. Okay? And, to me, the biggest problem, we got a big problem in this country. Here's reality. Rick and I were in New York a few weeks ago, and we met with the chief economist of Morgan Stanley, who does a lot of our investment banking. And it was Rick wanted to do it because Rick likes to sit in rooms and listen to it. And so I'm stuck with him. So I'm a teaching deficit disorder sitting there. But this guy, but Rick says, I really want to understand the federal deficit. I want to understand the math. Because I promise you, Rick knows numbers and stuff better than any. I mean, Rick is one really smart guy. Okay? I mean, he is one really smart guy. So he said the net is in 2020, on our current trajectory, the Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security payments will exceed the entire federal budget today, which is military, everything, because we have a math problem. Baby boomers are getting old as heck. Okay, I am the back end of the baby boom. 1957 was the year I was born. I'm 56 years old. I'll be 57 this year. The front end of the baby boom, born 1945. Okay, 1945, so what is that? They will be 69 this year. Okay, baby boomers now are getting old, but they ain't 80-something yet. You roll the clock forward 10 years, okay, it's going to be 67 to 79. I don't care how much we tax everybody. It can't support. I told my son, my youngest son, Tyler, who's in law school, third-year law at American University in D.C., and he's a great kid, smart as a whip and all that, but he's my little liberal, okay? So he's a great kid, but right now he's dealing with, his entire semester this time is people who, get caught up in the immigration system and are getting, many of them are horrible things where people are getting thrown out of the country who honestly, have lived here since they were like 6 months old or whatever and stuff like that. So he deals with all that stuff. And I said, Tyler, honestly, they can't tax you enough to pay for all this. The only plan, if we stay on the current trajectory, is take all the old people, say, we're giving you a free lunch and a bus ride in the middle of the desert, and just drive them off into the Grand Canyon so that you go, we ain't got to pay for all of this. Okay? It is a math problem. But politicians on both sides, nobody is willing to tell the people the truth. I've always said, why didn't somebody just get up and go, guys, let's just go through the math. Okay? Let's just go. Nobody's saving no money for retirement. Nobody is saving money for retirement. That's the reason when I go up there fighting for individual retirement accounts and stuff. Nobody. They think it's all like manna's going to fall from heaven or something at a certain age or whatever, and it's just going to magically, they're just going to show up and money's going to dump on them at 70. We can change that. We sell the right products. We do it the right way. We educate people in communities most people don't go to. Had a discussion. I was in D.C. and I was meeting with a congresswoman from California over the issue of individual retirement accounts and stuff like that. And, and it's over this whole mess we're dealing with in fiduciary standard and all this stuff. And she looks at me and she goes, Mr. Addison, though, don't people in my district deserve the same standard of care that people in a wealthy district deserve? And I went, well, Congressman, how can you answer that? Of course they do. Okay, but I said, let me answer your question with a question. When is the last time Merrill Lynch opened a branch in your district? And she started laughing and she went, never. And I said, guess what? They ain't opening one in your district. They hunt for elephants. We hunt for rabbits. Okay, our business model, and I said, so how are they going to do it? They're going to go to the internet and do their financial plan? Hell no. People ain't going to go to the internet. The biggest enemy of financial independence is procrastination. I'll get around to it. Okay, I'll do it later. It's too hard. It's easy. It's simple. Open an IRA with $100 a month going into a good quality mutual fund. We say it's easy. Ain't real hard. We are the only thing standing between the people you know And them sitting there going, okay, whoa. I need some money. When they're 70 years old or whatever. We, us. And that means we got to grow. That means we got to build new leaders. That means we got to build new licenses. I always felt this. The last couple of years of spending way too much of my time fighting and arguing with politicians on both sides of the aisle, it is that we have equal opportunity stupidity. Okay? And all the time of me doing that, I have figured out that's not a tagline to a talk. I mean, my God, there is no plan. And what we've got to do is we've got to go out and grow and empower people to change their lives. And that means we got to be more forceful. We got to be tougher. We got to build more. This isn't a social club. You're here to get financially independent. And that requires work. So, this is kind of a tough talk for you, but I feel kind of tough right now. From a standpoint, because I'm dealing with so many different things, in my business life that I honestly think I kind of have a clarity of things and how they are and what we need to do to go win and to go do something special. That what we need to do to go build this company. You look around this room. We're America. All walks of life, every race, creed, whatever. Primerica is a level playing field. There ain't no test on who your family was, where you from, whatever, what your name is, what your name isn't, all that kind of stuff. Primerica is a very unique business. And through our amazing diversity comes our strength. Diversity can either divide you or it can unify you. When you've got the right kind of diversity of people, of backgrounds, but they have a common goal, that is a powerful thing in the world we have now. Because right now, the world is more divided, and people, I truly believe those people I don't like up there, they live to divide people. Okay? They live to create this armed camp here and this armed camp there, whatever, and they live to divide people because that's where they get their political clout. Okay, and again, both sides of the argument or whatever. But when you create unity through diversity, and you create the strength of that, you can create something totally special that people look at and go, my God, how does that work? How do you make that happen? I genuinely believe this. If everybody in our company, and truthfully, everybody in our country, if you look for more what we had, how we were alike than how we're different, and you look for something good in people you disagree. I honestly believe in life you can disagree without being disagreeable. Maybe I'm stupid, but I honestly believe just because I don't agree with you, it don't make you a jerk. It don't make me a jerk. That what we need to do together is to find the things where we're common and agree on and go get great at those things. You go back and read history and read about our founding fathers. Most of them hated each other. They didn't like each other. They weren't, great friends. Everybody hated John Adams. He was a jerk. Okay? But at the end of the day, they found strength and unity and forged a new society. My view in life is you've got to be the kind of person. If I look at the things, I was talking to somebody not long ago, and they asked me what I thought my greatest strength was, and I said, I think my greatest strength is I genuinely, as a leader, try to look at people and understand where they're coming from, not where I want them to go. Okay, that I genuinely try to be somebody that realizes that everybody ain't going to be like me. Because too many leaders want to make everybody like them. And all you're going to do is piss them off and frustrate yourself. Because everybody ain't going to be like you and think like you. You've got to develop the ability to put yourself genuinely in someone else's shoes and understand where they're coming from and what their wants and desires and goals are. And if you get really good at that, you can deal with all kinds of people. Not just people who look like you, sound like you, and live in your neighborhood. You can actually talk to people from all walks of life. And that is a strength of Primerica. So I actually believe our business can make a big difference in the world. That this isn't just some little cute thing or whatever where some folks make a little money. This is a great change agent. But as I said at the first, change people, change people. And you've got to make a decision you're going to be a changed person. Look, y'all's team is on the move. This needs to be y'all's year. You need to get all you can get. Remember, double-digit recruit, double-digit recruit, double-digit recruit, because you ain't going to ever get big with where your recruiting is right now. I promise you. I mean, I look at the numbers or whatever, and for most of you in the room, you ain't going to ever get big. It's recruiting numbers you at right now. That you've got to snap, and you got to go decide you're going to do something great. Mike, David, Mike, I love you guys. Hey, Jimmy, how you doing, man? I love you guys so much. Y'all